Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Box Set Bytes. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the legacy edition of Johnny Cash at San Quentin. Now here is the original album that came out in 1969, just a little over a year since the last prison album that he put out at Folsom Prison that we featured in our first video. And again, this is produced by Bob Johnston. And here we can see the original track listing. And as you can see on the bottom here, this is recorded during the making of Granada Television program Johnny Cash at San Quentin Prison. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So there's the original album. And the box set itself is here. Basically the same layout as the at Folsom Prison version that we showed in the last episode. Now, one thing I noticed when I was looking at these that is kind of interesting, they actually photoshopped out the bass guitar on here. I never noticed that before. Just something kind of interesting that caught my eye. Okay, so here's the set again. And the side you can see here, it's the Legacy Edition. Now, in the last video I showed at Folsom Prison, that one was released in 2008. And this one was actually released in 2006, prior to the at Folsom Prison set. I'm not sure quite why they put them out in a reverse order that way, but anyway. Now this is one complete show here. As you saw from the album that I just showed, Wanted Man was the first song, and here it's about halfway through the program. And then they go over to Wreck of the Old 97 and I Walk the Line. So it's kind of a lot of editing in this concert. A lot of stuff going back and forth. Let's see, I think there's a song in here that was one of the last songs. So it's very heavily edited. But on this set, you get the complete show. You know, you get the Carl Perkins performances and Statler Brothers, the Carter family, as well as all the Johnny Cash performances here, which is really nice. So that's disc 1 and 2. And then on disc 3, as we mentioned earlier, this is the complete 1969 documentary for Granada Television in the UK. And that's, so it says here it's a 60-minute program, but it's really interesting to see that. So we'll open it up and take a look here at what we got inside. And here we got CD 1 on this side. And then we got our booklet here that we'll show. And then over here we got CD 2 and then the DVD on the bottom here. Now we'll go through the book here. As you can see here, we got the inmates there on a nice picture. There's a lot of really good photos in here, a lot of information. There's the band that was performing. Again, the track listing. Now this recording marks the 4th time that Johnny Cash actually performed at San Quentin. But this time it was actually recorded for an actual album, so. There's a lot of really good information in this main article here. Some things that I never knew before reading this. One thing to note between At Folsom Prison and this at San Quentin album is Johnny's guitar player Luther Perkins had passed away 7 months prior to this, and he was replaced by the guitar player here. And then we have the Statler Brothers. And then here's a little essay with Marty Stewart. He interviews Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard was actually one of the inmates at San Quentin when Johnny Cash performed a concert there in 1958. So here we have Marty Stewart doing a little interview with him. And there's the famous Johnny Cash picture I'm sure many of you have seen before. And here's a short little essay here by June Carter. And then here's another essay here by Lou Robin. So there you have it. That pretty much wraps up the box set. And I did look, and this is still available on Amazon for a pretty reasonable price. So if you're interested in this album and getting the complete performance on one set here, that's the way to go. So take care, everybody, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.